Hello everyone, this is Santosh Kansa here, CEO at GoSource, and I'm so excited today to have Hansel from Aloft. It's been great to have you here. You know DC, David Clemens, who is a certified residential appraiser, he's also with us. So I just want to quickly get this going, and I want to understand, Hansel, from you, if you can just briefly talk about more when you look for an ops extension or having an extension to your onshore team, what are the things that you look for and how does that relate to the ghost?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for consistency. We're looking for a team that already has a lot of experience that they bring to the table, that they can, you know, also just extend beyond just quality control potentially and go into other things and have just kind of like a sixth sense to kind of know what's about to happen and be able to hopefully prevent those problems. And I think that's what we found in GoSource is the ability to do that. And we did, I mean, with our company, we looked at quite a few offshore teams and companies. We just found your level of quality control was one of the best out there, and also just really easy to work with. And I think the leadership was very engaging. And it's just, working with any company, you want to build a partnership with them, know who you're working with, feel really comfortable because it's a big undertaking to work with. Especially one in India, you want to know who you're working with.
Awesome, DC, as an appraiser, you've been working with us for a long time as well, and you tried different services, and then you come on board. How do you feel yourself to be connect with a love, and how does that matter when you be a certified residential appraiser and helping our clients to be matched with their expectation?
Great question. I have had my appraisal business for 24 years, and for the past 8 years, I've had the opportunity to outsource my business, and now being on this side of the fence, working with GoSource, giving clients such as Hansel the opportunity to look in the lens of somebody like me who has used the services. It's given me an opportunity to really train our team, give us the best value for clients like Hansel to really shine and give us an opportunity to pick up more clients like that.
That's awesome. And Hansel, the question is here to understand more from your point of view. I know you've been tried and worked with a couple of different offshore company, and then you finally see the different way to be working with GoSource. How you see the transparency and how you see the communication at the GoSource?
Yeah, I think, I mean, the way appraisers are, whether it's this kind of a service or it's report writing software or, a PO box company, usually you're going to find that from up here. Another appraiser is going to recommend something to you, and you're going to trust it more. So I really do think that hiring David to work here was a huge mover for us, just because we speak our own language. Appraising is difficult, so having somebody that understands that and trusts it is a huge testimony. Because unless you've appraised before, it's hard to really trust that you really understand what we're going through. So, that was a huge thing to be able to talk to an actual appraiser who's using your service, who gave it the thumbs up, and that's pretty rare to find out there. And so that goes for any service that we deal with as an appraiser. It's just, you always want to talk to somebody, another peer, and say, do you like that and why? And you're going to trust that a lot more.
So if I asked you more, and I know David has been great. So being David on board as a certified residential appraiser, he speak your language or the all residential appraiser language. That's totally makes sense. So when I as in CEO been working with you and many other appraisers in 15 years, how do you rate GoSource in quality wise and communication wise? Because in appraisal business, what I believe in, because I was in AMC side and I'm here on the appraiser side, communication is a key of success.
Mhm.
So how do you feel when you're working with offshore company and has that communication and the quality of work?
I think it's excellent. I mean, we, you know, we have to set the standard for the way we want to be communicated. And I think about 2 to 4 weeks into the process, you guys are right there doing things. You fell right into our process in Slack. I know every client's a little bit different, got their own little quirks and stuff, and we do too. So, but you guys adapted to that, and we've adapted to your team. And but yeah, I mean, the reporting has gotten really, really good. I love the responsiveness, the customer service, the client, the camaraderie, which is really important to me and our company. Is we try to make anybody that we work with feel like they're an actual employee sitting next to us and not just somewhere.
Mhm.
We try to get them as close as we can, saying good morning, and saying good morning, good night, logging off for the day, kind of make it feel like an office. And maybe that's something kind of unique to us, but once your team got used to it, now everybody's doing it. So yeah, it just feels natural, and it's one of those things we're just going to keep building into and just keep getting your team more acclimated to the way we do things.
That's awesome, and I agree with you. Setting up those expectations in initial engagement is highly important to be successful on both sides. So one of the things that I'm seeing, and I really want you to be addressed, this all audience here. When someone go for an office extension or having people virtually working in any other country in the world, what are the top three things that you can share that you should look for before you even think about to be have an extension of your people?
Uh, I guess I would say that working with teams in India was a lot harder to do 10 years ago than it is now, and I think that difficulty is still kind of a stigma. And I think that I think companies should definitely give companies like yourself a chance to see what it's like and see what these new communication tools are like, because it does feel like you're right there. You're in the same office. I can meet with your team anytime I want. The communication is great. The technology works really, really great. But I think if you want to know what kind of a service you're going to get, you've really got to meet with the leadership. The leadership is going to set the tone for everybody, top down. And I think you need to try to meet with the leadership as much as especially on the front end, and see what those expectations are. Are they willing to meet you in person? Are they willing to sit down at a conference and have a meal or a drink? And you'll kind of understand through that process. But if all you're ever dealing with is you're just never meeting with the leadership on a regular basis, then I think that's usually a good sign that you're not probably in the right place. That's been my experience, at least. And also, just you want to make sure that the communication is there. It's really going to come down to communication, and you want to be able to give a direction, good instructions,
Mm-hmm.
and then get response from them.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think if that's not there, then it's also probably a sign that it's not the best vendor for you.
Welcome, Hansel. Really appreciate you taking your time out to come to our headquarters here in Mumbai, India. And would love for you to give us a little tidbit of what you think so far being here for the first couple of days.
I mean, I love it. I mean, you can meet people pretty well through Zoom and through Slack, but it's not the same as meeting them in person and just seeing it live, being able to sit behind them on a computer and seeing how they do what they do. You just get a lot more context. So this is my first time to be in a place like this in a business sense. But I feel like while I'm here, I'm going to learn a lot about how a company like this operates, and I'll be able to take that back with me, and it'll make me a much better client of a company like this than just purely doing it over the phone. through Zoom.
That's excellent. You know, one of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to is having the opportunity to travel to our second headquarters in Goa. You know, you've seen the first headquarters here, but we have a second headquarters in case for headquarters here goes down. We leave tomorrow to go to Goa, so I'm really excited to see what you think about that opportunity as well. So,
yep, I'm excited.
So one of the things that Hansel, I want to ask to you and understand your perspective, being a client and working with offshore different companies, but actually coming and seeing in person with your own eyes, how is that experience? You know, how does that important for you to be also here? What you can say to the other people?
I mean, I would say it's the same thing as saying you should go to appraiser conferences. I mean, I'm a naturally curious person, and I just feel like there's always something there to be found that I don't even know what I'm looking for, but I'll find something from it. I'll get something out of it, and that's why I've been going to conferences now for a really, really long time. So I felt like it was important to come out here and see how this works in person. I know I'm going to take something back with me. I don't know what yet that really is. I won't be able to really firm it up until I think I get back to Texas. But I like to meet people and make connections and learn and watch and see how all this works. And I think from that I'll figure out ways to work with this team better and be more efficient at it. I know this is a real privilege to get to come out here and be in person. Not everybody gets to do this, but I feel I'm going to learn a lot while I'm here.
Yeah, you know, I believe, like, I've been traveling to the US last 2 years, and one of the things that you can't stop at all is learn. You know, you got to learn every single second, and no matter who is the person, what level, you always learn. So I 100% agree with you, and you know, thanks for being here. So now, if you as an appraiser and David as an also appraiser, how do you see the virtual assistant? If someone as an appraiser has it, can add value to his business?
Well, I mean, our profession is, the work is getting more complicated, and the desire for fast speed isn't going to go away. So you can certainly do things by yourself, but I think especially with the new UAD, the level of research that you're going to have to do on the subject, and also every single comp, and also every comp that you chose not to use, because there's a new section for that too. It's a lot. So, but this goes for every kind of company out there. There's accounting companies, all kinds of stuff, but I think India brings a lot to the table when it comes to doing this kind of work and being an extension of a stateside professional that allows you to extend the business a lot farther and get a lot more done per day. Which is, I mean, for a lot of appraisers, I think that's kind of a foreign concept still. But I think as time goes by, it'll become more prevalent in our industry, but it'll become more prevalent in a lot of different industries. I think right now people just simply don't have a concept of what it's like to work with a team in India using some of these modern communication tools. But as time goes by, I think it'll become more common.
That's awesome. That's a good takeaways for the people who want to try and use and see how that can be really game changer for their business. Now, last question. I'm sure that's not going to be list, but you know, how is your experience? You already explained in a couple of past questions. How do you recommend to the GoSource, and why are you going to recommend to the GoSource? You know, will you be recommended to the GoSource?
Yes.
And then why? Why do you think you're going to recommend?
I think it comes down to communication. It comes down to having a leadership partner that's also an appraiser. That's for me. And I know you've now hired somebody on the healthcare side.
Yeah.
It's just having that set of eyes on the other side that understands what we do and how hard it is, and somebody that can help translate our problems. It's a big deal because appraising is hard. And sometimes it's kind of hard to really explain what the problem is in a non-appraiser talk way. So sometimes you need somebody on the other side who can kind of translate it or has already done so. That's a pretty big deal. And also just having leadership in place that's as on the ball as you are. That's a pretty big thing. And I've experienced other firms, and it's just kind of having somebody that you feel like they want your business.
Gotcha.
And I think that's also a really big factor.
Raj, thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here and have your blessings for the GoSource 2025 journey.
Absolutely.
And do you have anything?
I don't think so. I just really appreciate the opportunity for you being here and look forward to the next couple of days being here with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.